check this out. So we had, you can see the watermark right here from, and a little bit over here. It was really, really wet yesterday. And yeah, one of the sensors from when this was actually an ambulance, I think one of the seals went bad on it. So I probably should have ripped it out this summer, you know, hindsight and all that. But yeah, I took the, there's an LED light that would normally go in this hole. And since I don't use the lights in the ceiling anyways, it's not that big of a deal. I just unscrewed it and unhooked it from the wiring. The insulation was pretty wet. Got wool insulation up in here, but that's mostly dried out as well. I stuck a towel up there overnight just to kind of help sop up the wetness, and that seemed to help a lot. And then in the rain still yesterday, I put together some epoxy and crammed it around the thingamabob. Yeah. Anytime somebody says, oh, you live such an amazing life and I want to be a van lifer, ignore the mess. It's, you guys, it's winter time. Okay, it's winter time. I'm running out of space. I just got done filling my house with the random stuff while I was building presents and shipping presents. I look tired, don't I? It's 2023, baby. Only the most disheveled make it. She just ate. Okay, she had some sardines. Yeah, look at her fucking burping. Yeah, you just giving it up. Giving up the goat. We all know. We know you're spoiled rotten. Whiny McWhiner. I give her quite a bit of free range on misbehaving, considering she's like 14 years old and old as dirt. It's not like she's going to be around a whole lot longer to annoy the fuck out of me. And yeah, I don't know. There are some people who adhere to the school of training dogs where you just crush their soul until they're the most immaculately obedient animal on the planet. I just, you know, maybe when I was a teenager and I really needed to prove that, like, oh, I'm that good of a dog trainer, my animal is that obedient, I just crush the spirit. And not saying that you can't have a very well-trained dog without crushing their spirit, but I don't consider her whining and barking from time to time to be a poorly trained dog. She's got a personality. That's her personality. She had something to say, okay? I know somebody's gonna lose their shit on me. Well, how dare you think this? Anyways, I figured while I'm cracking eggs that I would yammer on. I don't have any ground beef today. Sorry, you guys, you're just shit out of luck. And it usually takes me an inordinately large amount of time to separate my eggs. So here we are. Somebody asked a really good question about my video I posted yesterday of why do I do YouTube? If it's not to monetize, then why? I haven't fully figured that out. There's a part of me, a very large part of me, that likes to try doing things. Even if I don't know I want to keep doing it in the long term or even accomplish anything with it, it's like, what does this do? If I push these buttons and pull these levers, how does it work? I want to figure it out. So I feel a bit about YouTube in that respect. How does it work? Do I like it? Does making videos give me any sort of joy? I mean, sometimes it's kind of fun to just ramble on and talk to myself. So, yeah, I mean, so far, I'm not completely miserable by making videos. It's not taking up a significant amount of my life. So, that part's okay. I like the idea of connecting with people, and I don't always feel like I am able to connect with the best people where I live and how I live. In some ways, it's a little limiting. Gosh, I'm doing a really good job of separating these freaking eggs. I should get a fucking gold star today. God damn it. I'm watching her. Ugh. Yeah, so water leak in the house. You know, it could have been way worse. One, I was semi-prepared because in previous year leaks, this isn't the first time it's happened in the winter, I decided to get some various epoxies and silicone caulking, so if I needed it in an emergency, I would be prepared. Thankfully, I was prepared. Last year, my side window was gushing water. It was a waterfall coming in and down into the wall. I don't know what... I mean, I know what caused it. There was like a 1/4-inch gap between the window and the wall. And I'm really not sure if it just like vibrated to create that space, or if that's how... Because I didn't do all of the conversion on this. I don't know if the guy I got it from, because he had put the windows in already, if he goofed it up or what the deal is, but it was a wall of water right over there down into my storage. I had all of... You think my house is messy now. I had all of my storage pulled out to save it from the rainwater. And then the year before that, into a little... Come here. Come here. Come. Come, come. Come. Thank you. Into last year a little bit, but the first year, 2020, the lights over the cab that really have no purpose. They're on the box. They don't shine bright, and they don't really do much of anything except flash a little bit when you lock and unlock the house. Those were leaking, and it was running down in between the cab and the box. Little rain shower right there. It was lovely, and there was nothing, again, there was absolutely nothing I could do in the moment except watch, horrified, this water coming into my home. Put a towel under it, basically. And I thought I had it shored up. And then last winter, there was some more moisture coming in. I could feel it. I was checking it. I was like, okay, let's see how this is going. And sure enough, the insulation was a little wet. Come here, come here. Thank you. So, yeah, it's an adventure around here. If you like power tools, which I do, so it works out well. But yeah, so I went to Home Depot today, and I'm going to pull that sensor out completely once the weather is fully cleared up. We have rain forecast for the whole week, so I'm not going to do anything with it today. I checked the epoxy. It's nice and hard. So I'm going to rip that sensor out and put a metal plate over it and adhere that down and seal it up really good. And then while I was at it, I have a roof vent. Okay, wait, bear with me. Okay, see, I have a fan, but the actual vent over there with the little crank on it, that is new this year. And oh my gosh, the guys that I hired to install it, I should have just done it myself with a fucking Dremel. I really, yeah. So these guys, I'm pretty sure, well, I know that they had been up all night long, probably doing drugs is like the best thing I can ascertain after the fact of how this went down. But they installed it, and the flashing kit it came with apparently wasn't long enough to cover the whole gap in the ceiling. Fine, cool. That's why I hired professionals, because they have their own shop where they do custom conversions. And I mean, you know, the whole 9 yards. Like, they should have some flashing in there somewhere of some kind. Or even trim boards, wood trim boards would have, like, I don't know. It really isn't that difficult. And I don't say that as a woman with no experience thinking, oh, this can't be hard. This comes from somebody who grew up in construction with my dad every day, from pouring foundations to building a whole house and renovations in between. This isn't a complicated project. I just was lazy and I was like, let's see, do it myself or pay somebody $300. Pay somebody $300 because then I don't have to get dirty. And they'll clean it all up. And then they'll fuck it all up. So the flashing, there was like an inch and a half gap all around. And they thought it was fine to leave it like that and not say anything to me. Like I guess like I wouldn't notice that there's exposed insulation blowing around my house when I drive down the road. Oh my gosh. So right now I just have contact paper over it because I was so livid at the moment. There was no way I was going to come up with a satisfying solution. I was just going to end up ripping my hair out and screaming out loud and scaring the neighbors. So so I left it and it's been fine, and I've been occupied with other things that have been far more important. It's a winter project. So I was there and I was like, oh, I'll just get some metal flashing and cut it and just fit it over and seal it over so that way it's fully waterproof. But yeah, so none of these things are going to get done until this next weekend. If that, they actually might get pushed back because this weekend will be my fridge. I have a front open Dometic fridge, which would be fine in like a dude's man cave or a garage or something like that. But I really feel, I don't think I'm a genius, but sometimes the decisions people make that I encounter and have to fix make me feel like I must be a goddamn genius. Because how on earth would you ever think that a fridge where it's just a hinged door, that it's not going to constantly leak air out as you're driving down the road and it's vibrating? Duh. So that's going to be a huge draw on your power all the time. Like, and on top of it, because we're using only solar here, so we have to be thrifty. We have to be mindful of our power. Every time you open that door, you just dump all the cold air out. You got to start over from scratch, and it's not power efficient. Ugh. So I bought a cooler style where you open the top, and I'm waiting for the drawer to come. It says it got delivered, but UPS hasn't told me it's actually there to pick up yet. So that's going to go in, and that's a little bit higher priority because it takes up it sitting in my house is taking up a lot of space, hence why I have a bunch of stuff piled on my sofa couch. And the mess drives me nuts. I really like I'm not a neat freak, but I like having things picked up because I only have like 80 square feet of living space. And a good portion of that is a bed. So if I'm not in bed, I've got like 50 square feet of living space. And then I got counters. So actually way less than that. Yeah. I gotta be mindful of how I use it. But yeah, so the joys of living in a conversion that wasn't made to be a conversion. I hope you guys got some more insight on this. I'll do some more little videos about my house. I really like the idea that maybe something I share is helpful or inspires somebody to do something they've always wanted to do, or especially with the raw meat. I wish I had figured out eating raw meat a long time ago, or even just all meat, a full carnivore diet. But if people don't share what they're doing or what they're figuring out or what works for them, then it gets a lot harder to find that information on your own. I mean, if you just Google what's the healthiest diet, how do I fix this with diet? How do I, it's like, oh, eat more vegetables and do this. And I can tell you, I've done just about every single diet out there that isn't carnivore. And every single one of them made me worse. Way worse. So much worse. Oh my gosh, when I was vegan, I developed dementia. And I'm not even joking about that. That's not an exaggeration in any capacity. I lost the ability to speak. I couldn't navigate places because I would get lost. Like, I would just be going from school to home or work to home, and I'd get lost. I'd be driving, and all of a sudden, where am I? How did I get here? I don't remember getting in this car. What do I do? And the same thing would happen in conversation. I would be sitting down talking to somebody, and all of a sudden, I had no idea where I was, who this person was, what we're talking about. I'm just completely lost. And then before I lost my speech, I developed a really bad stutter. That was really, really bizarre. One of my good college friends at the time thought it was hilarious. He's like, yeah, try to say, whatever, and he'd say a sentence, and I'd just be like, I'm gonna fucking murder you. But I couldn't even say it. I would stutter every single word. I couldn't get it out. And then eventually I just stopped being able to speak altogether. I could see the word in my brain. I could hear myself saying it in my brain, but I couldn't get it from my brain out of my mouth. Oh God, that was a wild time. And my doctor wouldn't test me for anything. He was just like, oh, you just need to exercise more and eat more salads, eat more vegetables. Oh my God, he was the worst, literally the worst doctor I've ever encountered. He also gave me vaccinations without my consent. And how that happens is you consent to one vaccine, but then they actually give you a... they give you a vaccine that's got a bunch of stuff in it. So you get one shot and you're like, okay, cool, I got my tetanus booster. We're good to go because we live on a farm and we should have that. Oh, you snuck measles, mumps, rubella in there and whooping cough and this and that. What else? What else did you just give me without my consent? Wow. Okay, well, I guess I'm never coming back here again. Yeah. So sometimes I hope that will happen with these videos, is maybe it'll help somebody in some weird, bizarro, unintentional way. I think that would be really rewarding to me. I don't know. Because I get a lot of help watching people's videos and random things they share sometimes without it being the specific goal of the video they share. And sometimes the less focused a video is, the more I tend to get out of it. Yeah. Yep. Oh, Mama. You're so good. You're so good. You're not getting any of my egg yolks today, though, Missy. Nope. Nope. I feel like there was something else. No, I think that's about it, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna eat my egg yolks in my own privacy. Because I know she's gonna be hounding them. Yeah, I hope you guys got something out of this. And if not, I mean, that's fair too. Not everything has to have a purpose. Sometimes you just do things that are just like, I don't know. What do I think about this? Did I like it? Did I not like it? Yes, no, maybe. Yeah, and then move on. That's life.